So good morning, you guys. Welcome, welcome. Make sure you guys have your blocks and your straps, whatever you need. Hey, Sarah. And I have my audio up. I think for a couple days I didn't have my audio on. So if you guys were talking to me in the 5:30 class and I was ignoring you, it wasn't because I don't like you. It's because I couldn't hear you. So this morning's class is dedicated to my tight-shouldered clients, Mike, Steve, Joe. I'm recording it for you guys, and hopefully I'll send it along and have you guys check it out and help you to open up your shoulders. The rest of us, we're going to work on the shoulders. We're also going to be working on opening up the psoas, lengthening the body, hips, all that wonderful stuff. So one more sip of my coffee. I found this keto creamer. It's very sweet and it's yummy. So we're going to start seated or kneeling. And again, blocks or straps, whatever it is that you guys have around to help you to get into your postures better. So have a nice straight spine. Okay, and we're gonna just take the shoulders here and just kind of circle them back a few times. Okay, so just rolling the shoulders back a little bit. And you can put your hands right on the shoulder heads, right? And circle them back and circle them back and circle them back. And then squeeze the outer edges of your shoulders together behind you. And you might be pinching the shoulder blades together, like right at the center where the spine is. Try to make it more at the outer shoulders and then stretch them away from each other. And then do that again. So squeeze them together. Try not to twist your body. Keep it nice and straight. And then stretch them away. And one more time. Squeeze them together. And stretch them away from each other. Beautiful. So you're going to open up nice and strong and take a nice deep breath in, opening up through the arms and keeping those shoulders nice and wide away from each other. And exhale, stretch the shoulders out and press your hands all the way out so your fingertips are up like you're pressing the side walls. Now feel right here, you guys, your shoulders pushing out. So a lot of times we'll be doing this, right? Pulling the shoulders in. I want you guys to draw the shoulders down the back and press them out as much as you can. Then bring the arms together in the front and keep pushing the shoulders to the side walls. So do that again. Bring that out to the side. Breathe in. Keep pushing the shoulders to the side walls. And then exhale. Bring the hands together. Keep moving the shoulders to the side walls. So the shoulders are going to stay wide. Try one more time. Nice inhale. And exhale, shoulders nice and wide. Beautiful. So we're going to hold them out right here, and your shoulders might start to get tired, and that's when you could drop them down if they get too tired. I'm going to bend the elbows right here, and keeping your shoulders back. This is where we start to like roll the shoulders forward, and I don't want you guys to do that. Keep the shoulders back and just flip your forearms forward and back, okay? So the shoulders stay back and you're flipping your forearms forward and back. And just do this a few times. This is going to work to strengthen the shoulders. It helps to bring range and flexibility to the shoulders. And I know your shoulders can start to get tired when you do it. So take that little break as you need it. And we're going to try for 4, 3, not too much, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Just shake them out, circle them around a few times again. Beautiful. And move the shoulders again out to the side wall. So that right arm's going to come down and that left arm is going to pull back. So think about this, you guys. Shoulder back and open your chest forward. So a lot of times we'll be doing it like this way where the chest is tight and the shoulder head is forward. So move that shoulder back, open up through the chest and stretch over. And see if we can get a little bit more range here where the chest is more open and the neck is long. And maybe like turn your chin up and see if you can look up at your wrist and lengthen a little bit more. Breathe a little more. And then release and open your shoulders again. Open them to the side walls. There you go. And bring that left one down. Now again, just take a moment here to look at the shoulder. Move the shoulder back. Stick the chest out. And keep that feeling as you reach over, right? So you're going to notice the difference in your shoulders because two sides are always very different. But see if you can move that shoulder back, chest forward, and then turn your neck to look up at the inside of your wrist or your elbow or your thumb, wherever that neck will go. And you breathing in, relax the forehead. Breathing out, and releasing it. Ooh, back to center. I love that, you guys. All right. So when we come into this rotation, and this is, again, just a couple quick pointers in the beginning, that when we go like this to reach, the shoulder ends up coming forward and the chest ends up closing back. So I'm going to encourage you guys to reach for the knee, move the shoulder back, or widen your shoulders still, right? So you're pushing the shoulder back, but what you're doing here is you're pulling your chest through to the stretch, okay? So the shoulder's back and the chest is coming through. And you do the same thing with the other side, right? So with that right arm, that shoulder is back and your chest is pulling through. And now I'm going to ask you guys to lift your spine a little bit taller, right through the crown of your head. I'm going to ask you to breathe and turn your chin behind your right shoulder. So you're going to look away from me and you're going to turn your chin as much as you can, and maybe use one of your hands to move your chin, to actually pull your chin, right? Pick a hand, that doesn't matter. And that might help you, right? To turn your chin just for a second. And then open the shoulders more, move the shoulders back, and turn a little bit deeper, breathing in, breathing out. Now take that top back arm and lift it up and follow the hand. So look at the hand as the arm goes over the left knee. So you're going to turn the chin and look up at that hand. So don't look at me, you guys. Turn your chin and look back. Roll the shoulder back, open the chest, and lean toward that left knee. And then slowly release it back down and come back into the center. All right, so shoulders release. And again, if you like this shoulder one, I'm recording it. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it gets recorded and we get it put up on YouTube so you can do it again if you want to release your shoulders. So again, when that right hand is over here to the left, you want to make sure that the shoulder's not rolled forward. So move the shoulder back and stick your chest out, right? We'll do the same thing with that back arm. You're lifting tall, please. You're widening your shoulders away from each other, and you're turning your chin back a little bit more behind that left shoulder. So chest open, shoulders back, shoulders wide, chin turns. Use your hand to help you turn it. Spine is long, and then we'll take that back arm, lift it, look at that back arm, and then lean that back arm toward the right knee, and keep sending those shoulders open, move them back, chest open, and look to that back. So keep turning your chin, keep lengthening a little bit more, you guys. Breathe deeply. And release, let that all come back into the center. I love it. All right, so hands are gonna come to the shin here. Shoulders are gonna be open. We're gonna come right into the belly here. So I want you guys to sink back into your tummy. So navel's in, and you're gonna open up and flare out your side walls here, your side body, and your back. So just kind of stretch back and sink into it, and then come up. So your legs are strong and you're holding on as if your legs, are an immovable force, right? Like a pole or something like that, or post or beam. And you're gonna hang your back off of it. So you kind of feel your legs rooted. Don't let your legs fly up. And you're gonna sink back. But again, you want those shoulders to go back and your chest to be open and sink into your mid and lower back. And we'll come up again. So we'll try that one more time. So keep those legs strong and just hang off of your legs. Keep the shoulders back, chest open, and squeeze into that mid and low back, and then come right back up. All right, so we got these muscles right under here, you guys, at the sides of the chest, armpit. You're gonna take those muscles there and pull them in nice and strong, okay? So press them in against the chest and then lift up, 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 up. And breathe deeply. So keep these muscles super, super strong. Open the arms out to the side. Keep those muscles strong. Twist. Come back to the center. Lift up again. We're just kind of activating these muscles here, making sure that they're super strong. Lifting your chest. Open out to the side and twist the other way. Keep those muscles super active. Come back into the center and lift again. And release the hands back. So the hands are going to go back and the shoulders are going to go back. And these muscles here are active and strong. You're going to flatten out through your feet. I'm going to turn to the side so you guys can see me here, right? And you're going to lift up your chest. Everyone's lifting up the chest. So your chest is sticking out. Your shoulders are going back. And those side wall muscles, they're the serratus muscles, right? Under the armpit is lifting. Now start to lift your hips. But keep those shoulders rolling back, the chest opening, and you're breathing in, guys, and breathing out. And one more time, breathing in and breathing out. Let's lower everything down. So we're going to start to introduce some length through the psoas. Bring that right knee in and that left leg out. So the knee's pointing out to the side here and this leg is out. And when you guys get here, good, you're going to roll over this shin and this leg's going to turn. So check it out. Your hip is going to turn. And you guys can put your hand right here at your hip and roll it. So we're working on this length here at the psoas. Turn as much as you like, just don't hurt your knee, okay? So I want you to turn into the back leg, the back hip, and turn your belly, turn your waist, turn your chest, turn your neck, turn your head. Now you can keep on turning as much as you like. You can keep turning that back leg. You can stretch it a little bit deeper so that that knee and that hip and that ankle of the back leg are super aligned and strong. You can activate the shoulders and the chest a little bit more. You can lift up and lean back a little bit more to open the chest forward and squeeze the shoulders back. And you're breathing and breathing out, but I really want you guys to sink your hips. So if you're able to, put your left hand on your left hip up here, your left pelvis, and push the pelvis straight down to the floor. So right here, you're taking the pelvis and pushing it straight down, and you are lifting your chest, but relaxing your eyes, and breathing in and breathing out. Let's slowly release. Let that go. I love that. And let's try the other side. So again, just introducing that nice hip opener. And those are so good to do every day. Yoga every day. Right leg is out. And again, we're going to start to turn. Now this leg might feel easier. It might feel a little more challenging. But you're going to roll this leg, okay? So any type of change position just to make you feel more at ease at your front knee, right? And you just keep trying to roll this hip, okay? And so your back leg continues to turn the whole leg, but it's coming from the hip and the waist so that everything turns, waist, hip, belly. Use your arms here to organize your chest, shoulders back and wide, chest is forward. Don't confuse the rib cage with the chest. Make sure you're stretching up here at the chest. And you're breathing in and breathing out. And if you guys are able to, or you're wanting to, you take your right hand to your right hip and you push your pelvis straight down to the table, to the floor, to the table, right? I'm used to like talking in terms of my clients, right? To the floor here. And then lift the chest. Breathe in, breathe out. All right, let's roll, unwind, and come onto all fours. I'm going to do a little bit of scapular mobilization. Start to feel really good this morning. Bring your wrists right underneath your shoulders, knees right under your hips here. And your elbows don't bend on this one. Your elbows don't bend. You're going to drop your chest to the floor, and you're going to feel your shoulders and your shoulder blades move toward each other. And again, side chest wall strong. And then you push the chest up, and the shoulder blades separate and lift your spine. Now try not to drop your neck or your forehead or anything like that, and hold your head in a good alignment. And we'll do that again. So you come down and up. So you guys are working your scapula mobilization. Breathing in, breathing out. And just two more. Try to keep those muscles at the underarms strong and held in so the sides of the chest don't wobble around. And one more time, you guys. Down and up. And up. Now you're going to stretch up here and round through the back and let the head drop. And reach back into the lower back now. And then come forward and now dropping again through the scapula comes together, chest open. Now let your belly open and your head goes up. So let's try that two more times. So stretch up, reach back into the lower back. Let that forehead come like toward the navel. And then come down, shoulder blades together, chest strong, lift up through the neck and arch that lower back. And one more time, you guys. So round up, round up, round up. That's it. Forehead to the navel. Breathe as you do this. And then come forward and open up that spine. Get a little more length at the tail. Now we'll come into neutral position here and lift your chin up so your chin goes behind your right shoulder. Now again, keep those shoulders from hunching forward. Keep your chest open. And let your chin go behind your right shoulder. and pull your chin toward your right hip. And now move the side of your right hip toward your right shoulder. So you're going to start to stretch that left side. Breathe in, breathe out. Let's come to the center and try the other side. So lift and turn your chin. So you're going to lift your chin over your other shoulder, okay? So lift the chin up. So you're going behind, shoulders stay back. And then move that hip toward your shoulders where you're looking and stretching that right side. And breathe. And we'll come right back into the center and take it into downward facing dog. So you spread those fingers and you come up into downward dog. Now let your back open here in downward dog. So you're gonna kind of maybe like pedal out the heels, like one heel at a time, stretch the Achilles, stretch the back of the knee, stretch the calves, and then draw both heels to the ground. And see if you guys can widen the back of your knees a little bit more. So you're drawing the heels down, and right where the calf muscle, comes toward the knee, where it touches the knee or comes up at the knee, try to open that up a little bit more. So you're pulling that, stretching the back of your knee, it feels like down to the heel. And your sitting bones go up and they go apart, and your shoulders are wide. Like open those shoulders, nice and wide. Roll the shoulders into your back and open your chest forward as you breathe in and breathe out. Now we're going to ripple through plank. So everyone's coming forward into plank position. And in plank position, those shoulders are back and the chest is open. The neck is long. And you're stretching out the front of the hips. We did that hip opener, psoas opener. So open the hips. Keep the back nice and active. So remember these little muscles right here in the back. They stay nice and strong to keep that wiggly part of your spine from wiggling. And then we'll come right down to the ground. And we'll take it into cobra. So keep your hands so your fingertips are right, behind the shoulders like this. So you don't have your hands out here. All right, find this shoulder line and pull your fingertips back. And then pull the shoulders back. So you can use your hand like I just did, or you can just pull the shoulders back and stick your chest out. So the elbows are going to be back. I'm going to lift up the chest. And breathe in, breathe out. So move your chest forward. Lift your chest by activating those muscles on the sides. And breathe. And come on down. And we'll try that 2 more times. A little press into your fingertips, elbows in, forearms in. Lift. Up, 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 up. And come down. Exhale. And one more time, you guys. Inhale, fill the lungs. And come down. Woo. Take those arms out to the side and your palms are down, reaching back. Open your legs to the outside of the yoga mat and lift your legs. Lift your arms and your shoulders into your back. Lift the chest forward and stretch. So this is lotus pose. This is locust pose, sorry. Like you're stretching your legs apart. You're stretching your legs back. You're lifting your legs. You're stretching your arms and your shoulders apart. You're reaching your arms and shoulders back toward your feet. And you're stretching your chest forward. You're relaxing through the eyes as you breathe in and breathe out. And one more time, you guys, breathe in and breathe out. Slowly lower down and come back into child's pose. Woohoo! So we're going to get this nice stretch here in child's pose. Open up the arms, open up the shoulders, open up the chest. I'm going to give the shoulders a little bit of a break. We'll come back to it while we open up into the psoas as you breathe in and breathe out. So everybody's opening up through the hips. Try to send your hips a little bit deeper back and find the bottom tip of your pubic bone and tailbone and pull it through your thighs to the back wall. So pull the pubic bone through the thighs. It's like unzipping that pubic bone from the navel. Navel long and strong. Widen the upper chest. Widen your lower ribs a little bit here and breathe. All right, we're gonna rise up, ripple through, and step your right foot forward and your left leg is gonna be back. So we're gonna be into this lunge position and rise up. So make sure you guys have your good position with the left foot and with the right foot and the left foot are not on one straight line. Open them out so they're hip width. Okay, and so you're gonna have those hips nice and strong, and place your hands right here, you guys, on your pelvis. And press your pelvis straight down. Don't tip it, right? Just pull your pelvis straight down and try to keep your back leg from bending, okay? So just press down nice and strong as you breathe in, breathe out. So I want you guys to feel this line or this energy inside your hip towards your inner thigh, pulling, you know, and stretching, elongating down while the top of the abdomen here is pulling in and up. So I'm going to reach the arms up and work into that shoulder open wide, shoulders back, chest open, but you're opening up through the psoas. So we're breathing deeply here in this nice crescent lunge. And then open the arms, shoulders open. And we're going to twist toward that leg. So you guys are going to twist to the right. And you're going to go ahead and bring that hand down, left hand down, and lift and lengthen. So when you guys come into this twist, open that hip, stretch through the belly, roll your shoulders back, open the chest, and breathe. So remember, you're pulling that pubic bone back, you know, you're lengthening that tail, that back leg is strong. Find a little more stretch, a little more breath, a little more open. And then rise up, unwind, rise up, ground the back foot, and open into warrior two. So nice, awesome, warrior two. So again, shoulders rolling back, chest is open. Sink again, so if you want to put your hands, if this is helpful, put your hands on your pelvis and press down while this knee opens to the back. So your right knee opens back, hips pressing down if that's helpful. Open, 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 breathe in, breathe out. Now we'll take this right elbow under the left, wind the forearms, press the palms, come into the center. And you guys lift the elbows up shoulder height, pull the shoulders back, press the chest forward, and press your forearms against each other, press your palms against each other, press your elbows against each other. Breathing in and breathing out, and keep those shoulders wide. Don't crowd them back up in front again, okay? And then pull your torso to the left, to that back leg. Breathe in, breathe out. And keep trying to bend or pull your elbows to the left knee. And come back to the front, unwind the arms, open, and come into our side angle stretch. So forearm down, top arm over, shoulders wide, head is back, neck is long, and open and lengthen. Right here, you guys, hip, inner thigh, belly, your lower ribs are spread wide, chest is spread wide, shoulders spread wide, and you are breathing. Inhale and exhale. Let's rise up and turn those feet in the direction you are facing. Start to open up those sits bones a little bit more. Pelvis strong. As you tip forward a little bit, just go slow because I want you guys to take your sitting bones, separate them, and lift them skyward. So you can use your hands to touch those sitting bones. They're those narrow, bony protrusions at the bottom of your pelvic bones. And you want to lift them up, the right one and the left one. And your hands can come to the floor, or you can keep them at the hips. And you're breathing in, breathing out. Now, as you open up those sits bones, shoulders back, chest open, head drops. Reach the hands to the outside of your legs here, elbows bend to the sky so your shoulders can go back, your chest is open, and your head drops. We clasp the hands behind the back here, and we open up again so that the shoulders are back, the chest is open, head drops. Remember, the muscles at the underarm or the armpit area at the sides of the chest are active, and you're breathing in and breathing out. One more time, breathe in and breathe out. Bring your hands back to your pelvis. Hold the pelvis down as you lift the chest up. So your hands are right here at the top of the pelvis here, and the hips are going straight down to your feet, and you lift the chest straight up. So take a few breaths here, right? where you're holding your pelvis, you're moving your pelvis down, and the muscles here at the sides of the chest are picking the chest up, and you want to feel that opening as you breathe in and breathe out. Try not to pop the ribs out when you do it. Just lift, vertical lift of the chest, dropping down at the pelvis. Beautiful. All right, you guys, we're going to turn back to the front here. You're going to come back into plank, and from plank, you're going to come all the way down. And from this down position, roll the shoulders back, open the chest, sides of the chest lift, and breathe in, breathe out. So do what you just did when you had your hands on your pelvis and you were pulling your pelvis and your chest on the sides. Do that now. Pull the chest, pull the pelvis, breathe in, breathe out, and then exhale into downward facing dog. Spread your shoulders. Reaching back, you guys. All right, let that chest come forward a little more in downward dog. So send your chest away from the hips, so you're lengthening your side walls. You're breathing in and breathing out. You're doing awesome. 2 more breaths. And 1. Drop your knees again. And then come into that child's pose, stretch again. Again, just pulling your hips back, stretch that pubic bone back, tailbone back. Lengthen the chest from the hips. And breathe. So where you have your hands on your hips and we were pulling the hips and the chest away from each other, try to feel that now. Try to breathe that now. Inhale and exhale. All right, you guys, we're going to come up and have our left foot come forward and our right leg come back. I'm going to work on this side. So as you rise up into this crescent lunge, woo, doing so good today. Kind of slowed it down a little bit more than we normally do, right, for these postures, but it's a good thing. So we're gonna have the hands right here on the pelvis, and we're gonna pull the pelvis straight down. Try not to tip it forward or tip it back, find as neutral a position of your pelvis. You can feel it when one's more in front of the other, and pull straight down as evenly as you can. And again, the chest is pulling up when you do this. Okay, so you keep the energy pulling down at the hips, the back leg stays straight, and you reach up the arms. Shoulders super wide, chest lifted, hips reaching down, back leg as straight as you can make it. Breathing in, breathing out. And we open the arms out to the side. Keep the length, you guys, and twist to that leg, coming down with your right hand. All right, and so use the yoga block if you need it, and you guys are pulling your hips away from your chest, pulling your chest away from your hips, elongating the pelvis, elongating the hip, breathing in, breathing out, shoulders back, chest open. Whew, you guys look so good. All right, let's unwind and come up into Warrior 2. So we're in Warrior 2. Nice, good. And so again, with this Warrior 2, you're doing the same thing you just did in Warrior 1. Hips down, chest up, shoulders super wide. Awesome. Knees open. Let's bring that left elbow under the right. Wind it up, palms touch if you can. Pull the shoulders back, pull the chest open, lift the elbows. Press your forearms against each other. Press your palms against each other. Press the elbows. Breathe as you do it. Don't hold your breath when you press. Keep lifting the chest, moving the shoulders back, opening the chest forward. This is a hard one because you're closed in this position. You're trying to push the chest open. Okay, so this is a little bit of that resistance that's going to help you to get stronger at the shoulders and the chest. And then we're going to twist to the right, and you're pulling your elbows and your torso toward that right knee. You can even like round your back maybe a little bit, but keep breathing in, breathing out. One more time, you guys, breathing in, breathing out. Come back to the center, open up. There you go, open the shoulders, and then bringing that arm right down and taking it over. So again, you guys want to widen the ribs a bit, widen, open up along the hip into the inner thigh, widen the shoulders, shoulders back, chest is open. Inhale and exhale. One more time, inhale And exhale, rise up. This time go a smidge wider than you were before. And we'll come into that forward bend again. Shoulders open. Yep. Hips pulling down. Lengthen. Sit bones to the sky. Grab hold of either the outside of your ankles or step on the outer edges of, step on the fingers with the outer edges of your feet. Elbows to the sky. Balance out your pelvis so you're not leaning and pulling on one side more than the other. You know, you might have more range on the right, so you might lean more to the right. So pull to the right and left evenly. Sit bones to the sky. Pull the chest away from the hips. Hips away from the chest, shoulders wide, neck is long, right? So chest open, shoulders back. Breathing in, breathing out. One more time, you guys. Breathing in. Breathing out. Now release and come on up to standing. Woo, you guys are fabulous. All right, hands are going to be right here at the pelvis. You're pulling your pelvis right here straight down. You're taking the muscles right here that are holding the chest and pulling the chest straight up, okay? So this part is lifting, this part is pulling down, and you're breathing in, breathing out. Beautiful. So we're going to step back to the front, you guys. You're going to bring your feet together. I'm going to work into a little chair pose here. So chair pose will really help to strengthen these hip flexors, narrow those hip points in, and pull your sitting bones back. So this is what I want you to isolate, is narrow your pelvic bones in like that to close it, and pull these sitting bones, so hard to get those things to do what you need them to do, back, away from the backs of the knees. Try not to arch your back when you do this, okay, and lengthen your back. Chest is open, shoulders back, neck is long, breathing in and breathing out. So we rise up into mountain pose. You bring your pelvis grounded. You bring your chest up. You're going to rise up and take hold of that left wrist and pull it over to the right. You're rolling the shoulder back. You're lengthening at the wrist and at the elbow. You're lengthening even the side chest wall here. So you're pulling over this way, keeping that super long and strong on the other side. So you're still lengthening that right side. Come on up. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Ground through the hips. Grab that right wrist. Pull the wrist open. Pull the elbow open. Shoulders are wide. Pull this chest wall and keeping length to the left side. So don't let the left side collapse. Keep both arms straight and strong. 2 and 1. Woo! Beautiful job. Open and fold. And we're going to come into a deeper forward fold if it's right for you. So bring your hands behind your legs like this. Try to keep the backs of the knees as straight as you can. Narrow into those hip points. And pull your sitting bones to the sky. Oh, pull those up to the sky. Tie some little helium balloons to your sit bones and let those sit bones float up to the sky. Breathe in, breathe out, right? What an image, right? Make your sit bones helium balloons. Like think about, sit them up there, right? Inhale and exhale. And we'll come into halfway lift, you guys. So hands to the shins here and lift up the chest. So it might be a little bit easier to nudge these open now. So pull those sit bones, try to get the backs of the legs a little bit straighter when you do this. Pull the shoulders back, pull the chest open, lengthen through the spine. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Step into plank. Ooh, we're going to take a side plank, you guys. Side plank is a great way to open up that bottom shoulder. So you lift up an arm, I don't care which one, but the bottom shoulder has to go back and the bottom chest has to go open. Try not to wrinkle up through that waist when you do this. You want to make a chest opener. So you can have this knee down like this. This is totally awesome to do so that you prevent yourself from tightening your shoulder. You want to use this. So we're coming back to the shoulders a bit. Use the floor to move the shoulder head back and chest open. Lengthen through the neck. Keep the sides of the chest wall stretching away from the pelvis. So now you're stretching them in a horizontal position. Your pelvis is moving away from the chest. Chest moving away from the pelvis. You're lengthening, you're opening up that bottom shoulder, and you are breathing. All right, let's come down and try the other side. Woohoo! So as you come to side 2, roll that shoulder back, bicep turns, chest has to open. If you can keep the waist strong, you can do it. Otherwise, put your knee down to help you to steady your waist. And keep opening that shoulder, opening the chest. You're opening up both shoulders, but the one on the ground is the one that you are working to really open because you're pushing off the floor to get your bottom chest open and that bottom shoulder open. And you are breathing when you do this. You're lengthening your chest. Inhale and exhale. I love it. Let's come on down, you guys. I'm going to come right down onto the knees. And check out this one. This one's for some of my good buddies out there who have those really tight forearms. You're going to take I'm going to try to find the best position. Take one arm underneath. Let's say you take your left elbow and bring it down. Left forearm down. You're going to take your right knee and massage the forearm. Yeah. Right? And you're going to go all the way up to the elbow. And you actually just use that knee. See, you guys don't even need me anymore to help you out. You can do it all on your own. You just kind of use that knee to massage open the wrists. You can even do the palm of your hand if you want to, the thumb. And the more pressure, of course, you put into the knee, the more you lean into your knee, the more you're going to feel that nice opening. Yeah, this one's mainly for Joe. Joe was like not complaining. He never complains. He was just talking about how tight his forearms are. So I was like, let's see if we can get this. So let's try the other one. Bring that other, never complaining, right? So bringing that down. So right arm and then that left knee, or you know what I mean, opposite arm from knee. And you just start to massage around. You guys are like, thanks, Joe. Having her find a new way to torture the body. Getting rid of that tightness, right? I like to sometimes step on the thumb a little bit, step into the wrists a little bit. So just kind of work your way all the way up to the elbow, all the way around, and breathe. Nice job, you guys. Woo, feels good. All right, let's get off those arms for a sec and stretch around to the side, maybe like roll out those fingers. We're gonna do a shoulder opener. We've done this one before, but again, the way you do this, the posture is the most important part. Your right arm is gonna be up to the side. Your right shoulder needs to be up off the floor. So watch this. As you start to turn into this, your right shoulder might drop to the floor. Don't let that happen. Push the shoulder. Now, there was a class that I did where I had you guys, I don't know if you guys were in it, or I think it might have been a live class, where you were using the block to push the shoulder head off the floor. So if you feel like, that would help you to keep the shoulder up, you're going to do that. But keep this at a 90. So whether block or just up, your chest is stretching to the floor, the shoulder goes back. And then you're going to lift your opposite foot over, and you are pushing that shoulder back, and you're pushing that chest forward. So it's that right shoulder is going back. Now you might start to feel the work at the bottom of the shoulder blade. And I really want you guys to feel behind the top of the shoulder, or the upper outer part of your scapula. So where like the upper arm is, like feel that part, the upper chest, the collarbone, like up there is where we have a tendency to fold and get really tight, okay? So you can go as far back as you like into this. You can lift that top arm, if you want to. And, you can let your head go back, or let your head rest on a yoga block. That works too. But see if you can keep stretching that upper collar and breathing in and breathing out. All right, let's let that go. We'll go the other side. So side two. Woo, that feels good. All right. So again, shoulder up, chest out, block. Stick it under there if you want to. Lift that opposite leg. Roll it over. So again, you might start to feel like way down low in the chest, and the bottom of the scapula starts to work. Try to come up here, like where the armpit part of the chest is. So that shoulder head goes back. Your head can drop to the floor or the block. Right, whatever works for you. If that's too uncomfortable, just stick something under your head like that so your neck doesn't hang out in the air and create more tightness. Top arm can come up. Breathe in, breathe out. You're also getting a psoas stretch, by the way, so you're sneaking in extra body parts. And then slowly, let that go. Nice job, you guys. Let's stretch back into either child's pose or downward dog, whatever you feel like your body is calling for. And breathe, 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 right? So pick a position, child's pose on the knees, downward dog on the feet. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Now we're all going to come into extended puppy, and this will be our chest, torso, and upper psoas shoulder opener. Okay, so knees under your hips, feet hip width apart, arms out. And again, you guys, we have a ton of movement here and a ton of movement at the ribs. So I want you guys to kind of stop that movement. And we don't have a ton of movement up here. So I want you to speed up the movement up here and decrease it down there. So you kind of hold the ribs in a little bit, not too much, you know, you still want some range. And you try to move the shoulders back and wide, and you stick your chest to the floor. So your sternum, your collarbone, you're getting that part, even the chin. When you do it right, you'll feel this squeezing at your upper back. You'll feel the muscles in your upper back start to work. Okay, and don't be afraid of that feeling. Sometimes it can feel like, oh, you know, you'll know your body, but, you know, just kind of like ease into it. If you're a little nervous, back off a little bit. But again, you want that upper chest coming to the floor. You want your shoulders back. Try to hold the ribs and the torso, the waist from wiggling too much. And try to keep your arms up, like your elbows up off the floor if you can. If your elbows touch down, it's okay, but, you know, get them as straight as you can and send your chest a little more forward and breathe in, breathe out. So settle into this without too much commotion, without too much noise in the head, right? Without too much tension. Just breathe and breathe out. Make it nice and easy and drama-free. We like to say that, right? Drama-free. All right, let's slowly release that. Let that go. So nice, you guys. And taking that left arm under the right and stretch that outer shoulder. So lots of shoulders, but you guys will be happy to know we're going to come on the back in a second and work the hamstring stretch, more quad opening, hip flexor, and some twists. So right here, you guys, you're sending that left arm under the right. And you're, you know, widening the chest still. You're, you know, keeping the chest open and the shoulder head back. And squeeze into the chest and the armpit a little bit. And then release. And we'll do the same on the other side. So we'll have that right arm underneath and stretch it. And again, you want to just keep that shoulder head back for now, right? Just get it back there. And see if you can, you know, compress into the chest. Keep your chest open, right? Don't collapse it. Never hollow out your chest, right? You want to keep the chest forward. Think about the front of the chest and the back of the chest opening away from each other, right? So you get that nice opening. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. All right. You guys come on up. We're going to do a little quad opener and a few different options for you guys. We're going to be coming down and sitting on your heels. If you can't do that, stack a bunch of blankets and pillows and cushions and whatever and sit on that, okay? So you're either sitting on your heels or wiggling down to the floor between your feet. And you're going to be stretching out the quads. Yeah. Quad stretching. Woo woo. We love it. So the knees are going to stretch and you're either sitting on blocks, sitting on cushions, or sitting down on the floor. Either way, you guys, try to hold your shins down and lean back. So we're just going to just slowly, don't go too far, too fast, because I definitely don't want you leaning to the right or to the left. I want you right in the center. I want you looking at your legs here. So again, I'm just going to pretend that mine are really tight and I'm up here like this, right? And so I'm doing it like this, and you can have your hands back and stretch back like that, okay? So it still works. And really, when we get restricted here at the hip flexors, we start to use the back. We start to push the ribs out. So I want you to do me a favor and try to settle this in like you're pushing this to the floor, and try to lengthen and open up right at the hip area. and more specifically along the inside of the psoas where it comes to the inner thigh. So inner thigh, stay strong, stretch that hip. And if you guys want to come down, like I just leaned over to my right elbow, but then I'm going to go over to my left elbow and I'm going to come down. All this is pressing, all this belly and everything is pressing backwards. So it's up to you. If you guys are up like this and you're, stretching back, you can do it that way as well. But I definitely want you to feel the hips. Right? So stretch the knees away from the hips, pull your inner thighs away from your hips. Go as low as you like, go as stretchy as you like. Breathe as much as you possibly can. Your inhale and your exhale, relaxing breath. Beautiful. And then slowly release. Come on up and let that go. And stepping your left foot forward and your right thigh is going to go back. So we're getting this hip flexor stretch, psoas stretch. I'm going to use the blocks here just to kind of prop me up a bit. So if you have the blocks, go ahead and use them for your hand. And you want this hip to stretch, so get that nice opening. Draw the belly in, and you can keep the hand on the block there, or you can lift the hand up, the arm up, and you're lengthening and widening and lifting through the abdomen and reaching over to the side. So go as much as you can if you feel that's right for you. You keep sending your hip toward the floor as you lift the chest. Beautiful. Release and come into a hamstring stretch. So I'm going to separate my blocks like this, and I'm going to flex out my foot. Okay. So here, you guys, try to get the Achilles back here to stretch. And if you want to, you can do a little point and flex, a little side to side. You get the Achilles to stretch. And then I want you guys to stretch out the back of the knee. Try not to bounce the knee down, but more pull the heel away from the sit bone, and that'll open the knee, right? Rather than keeping it tight and just bouncing down. So you're pulling the sit bone away from the back of the heel, away from the heel, and stretch. So the more your sit bone goes back, the more you're going to fall forward. So instead of trying to get your head down, I really want you guys to try to get your sit bone back. And the more you get the sit bone back, the more the head is going to come down. So just breathe deeply. Maybe turn your leg a little bit, wiggle it around so that sit bone can go open a little bit more. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, exhale. Keep pulling at the sit bone. Inhale, exhale. Shoulders back, chest open, all that awesome stuff. I love it. And then release. And we'll go the other side. Yay. So again, I'm going to just turn so you can see. I'll have the blocks right here for my support. And again, you can feel free to stay up or go down, or you guys know you've been doing this for quite a bit, that you can open however you like. But I'm just going to encourage you guys to open up across the inside of your hip like you just did in that quad opener. And if you want to, you can stay here. If you prefer to get that side bend, you lift up that same arm as back leg and stretch over to the side. So your hip or your pelvis is sinking toward the floor. So remember, we had our hands on our pelvis and we were pulling, pulling, pulling. And we're breathing as we do this. Beautiful. All right, we're coming into our hamstring stretch. So come on up and extend your legs. So again, you can flex first to get that Achilles. You can point flex, circle it around, and get that nice stretch there first. And then start to extend the knee by pulling your sit bone away from the heel and the heel away from the sit bone. So you're going to notice a difference on these two sides. Of course, one hamstring is usually more flexible, more stronger, more active than the other. But again, we're trying to encourage the strength and maybe like moving your leg or moving your sit bone a little bit, like kind of doing a little wiggle to get it a little more open. And just reach the sit bone away from the heel. And again, the more you do that, the more your torso is going to come down. Move the shoulders back, both of them. Chest open, both of them. And breathe. Awesome. All right. Let's come on up. And we're going to come onto the back for a hamstring stretch. And I'm going to use the strap for this and an IT band stretch. So I'm going to use a strap. Definitely recommend it. Turn to the side so you guys can get one leg up there and see what we're doing here. Put the strap around the toes rather than around the arch, around the ball mound of the toes, right? And get that foot to come straight down and stretch open the leg. And right here, you guys, find your alignment of your sitting bone to your heel. So you can put your hand right on that sit bone and move the sit bone to the floor away from the center of the heel. So align the two. So center of the heel, sit bone alignment, and then stretch them away. So I have one hand on the sit bone, the other hand is holding the strap, and the shoulders are back and the chest is open. And I'm breathing in, breathing out as I move. So the more I move the sit bone to the floor or downward away from the heel, the more the hamstring is going to condition. And so again, you might need your hand to do it if the sit bone won't work. And as you pull the heel up away from the sit bone, you move the heel toward you more and the sit bone to the floor more. Now to get IT band, you guys, you're going to bring the leg across the body. Keep your hip on the floor. Your sit bone is going away from the heel. Remember that. So you got to move the sit bone. So if the leg is going one way, the sit bone has to go the other way, right? So use your hand there at the sit bone if that helps to get that stretch. So unlock and release the sit bone, lengthen the sides of the waist, open the chest, pull the heel, and breathe. All right, let's come on up and switch legs. Feels so good. Ain't nothing like a free sit bone, you guys. Feels good to be free. So you're putting that strap right around ball mound, the toes there. And again, you're going to find it on this side, right? So length to your waist, sit bone, heel alignment, if you will, right? Moving the sit bone to the floor, moving the heel to the ceiling. Yep. So I have one hand on my sit bone, pulling it down away from the heel. I have my other hand on the strap to help to move pull the toes down so the heel can stretch up. It's that kind of anchoring. You guys know that, right? So keep getting that sitting bone to move down. So activate it with your hand or activate it with the muscle as you move, if you're able to, the heel toward you, right? So you're pulling that lower leg into you as that sit bone moves down. Shoulders back, chest open, easy breathing. Now as we go into IT band, remember the leg comes across, so the heel's going one way and the sit bone is going the other way. And your hip stays on the ground, your pelvis stays on the ground. So you activate, that lower belly, hip flexor area. So do your best, you guys, to feel that opening of the IT band by pulling your sit bone in one direction and the heel in the other, and by breathing. All right, I love it. Let's release that down. So hopefully you got some good opening there. And we're just going to take it to a nice elevation for the legs here, circling around. Or if you want to continue to open up your spine, you can lift the legs up and over. Just make sure, you guys, when you do this, that the shoulders are back and the chest is open. All right, and if you don't know that by now, by the end of this hour, how the shoulders move back and how the chest moves forward at the collarbone and the upper chest, then you need to watch the video again and do it again. No. So keep getting the shoulders back and the chest open, throat is relaxed, and you're breathing as you open up that spine. Inhale and exhale. You guys did great today. So when you're ready, let's lower all the way down. We're going to get a nice final twist here. So for this final twist, bring your legs to the ground. Take your right leg out. Take your left knee in. Remember, you guys, when you bring the knee in, you're still pulling the sit bone to the floor away from the heel, even though the knee is bent. And you're gonna bring that knee across the body. So sit bone away from heel or away from knee. Arm stretches out. Lengthen the sides of your waist. See if you can open those shoulders, open the chest. See if you can, guys, get those muscles on the sides of the chest wall to be active so that you can move the chest and the pelvis away from each other on both sides as you twist. And when you're ready, come on up and we'll take it to side 2. So taking that leg out and knee comes in, shoulders back, sitting bone open, knee comes across. So even though the knee's bent or the heel is not straight, you're still moving the sit bone and the heel away from each other. Arm is out, shoulders back, chest open. And again, chest and pelvis stretch away from each other as you twist. Breathing in, breathing out. All right, and we're going to take it down to Shavasana. Just go ahead and let the legs relax wide, head in the center, arms out, eyes closed. Relax the mouth and the jaw. Relax the forehead and the eyebrows. Let your eyes be super relaxed. And gently lift those shoulder blades away from the body and move your shoulder blades down your back. And let your shoulder blades just rest against your back as your shoulders drop back a little more and the chest relaxes open. Listen to your breathing. Eyes soft, mouth soft, tongue soft. Underarms relax. Inner thighs relax deeper. And listen to your inhale and your exhale. Feel your inhale, exhale. See if you can rest your head so that the brain stem is comfortable in connection with the ground. Okay, so it's like the top of the spine. I'm going to rest heavy. And let your breath out. When you feel your breath out, connect the body parts that are touching the ground closer to the ground. Right? So really feel that connection when you exhale. The feet, the legs, the arms sink a little bit more and give in. The head, shoulders, your back, hips. All right, so if you need to stay longer in Shavasana, please do. If you're ready, it's your time to come out. Just open your eyes, move your hands around, and bend your knees. And roll to your right side for a little bit before you come up to seated. And if you're practicing lotus pose with me, go ahead and do it. If it's not right for you or if it's not in your posturing yet, then just sit comfortable cross-legged. Right? If it hurts your knees, I wouldn't do it. Chest is up, shoulders back, neck is long. Beautiful. Bring the hands together right in front of the heart. Okay, so take a moment to recognize good feelings, right? That light inside, that awareness, connection, that consciousness. And, stay with that throughout the whole day. And if you find that you're not paying attention anymore, or your mind is getting lost and wandering into these places that you're not really happy that it's wandering to, just come on back to that meditation and that mindfulness and that breath and that joy and that peace. So thank you guys. Namaste. Have a great, great weekend. Enjoy a lovely Saturday.